Lero bwacha bakamba mu kyalo ky'esu kya Zambia ekyaweka Njoy. Abantu baafo bakamba kule mu nfumbwe. More than 20 people balebe pati ni babiri. Bagamba. Fish to Arufyanya. People have died. Mumino Yabakapokola. The police killing people. Why? In the same government, Bagamba, abductions have happened. Bagamba, if you're not with them, it's either you're dead or you're in prison. This government, you're going to change, big man. Fish to Arufyanya Pakubika office. Fish to Arufyanya. Why me? Missing. Achani Rubamwaicho and Dizona. Where is why me? HH, tell us with your government, where is why me? Give us why me. Justice for why me, big man. Wachila mo HH. Wala tupwisha bega kutupwisha Bagamba. That's why they get full under big man. My youth, my no what that. Something to a sevana. Bagamba. Vanessa to Bueni. Mujala Jesu. It's a Zambia. Tuamona mwempwa. Bagamba. Tuamona mwempwa. Some objections, Bagamba. Ubuteko toaleta. Wadulete lama. Amazala mush. No, you can take her. Kola ipompa today. No, you can take her. Apa number bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakuvota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Makufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Makufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. When you taya kwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Itaya kwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuliati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mayona batata. Mayona batata. Bayuthi. Twisuli amenso. Twisuli amenso. Batu sendela nomba batu ipaila na hope Yesu. Endika chagwa lungu watu bela tinazmi kwa tila plan B. Nomba tu wadishiba plan B aba mmino ya kualesa. Bantu banga wala fa mucharo chesu cha Zambia. Nibanga bantu wala abducted mucharo chesu cha Zambia. Bambire kuli jeje banda. Nibanga bantu wala ba prison. Abena chitotela chilangwa. Wote wa prison netunguru shina shimbi na shimbi. Muri one government ya kwa HH. Abantu naba fa mweleza. Aikata nomba baikata na kuyetika chagwa lungu atukwatile plan B. Abakubo byavyo mufulo big man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Bilabine batsendela yetika chagwa lungu. Abanomba bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakuvota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. When you taya kwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Itaya kwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuliati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. HH does not mean well for Mother Zambia. Zambia to Asebana, this is not the Mother Zambia that we were left with by our ancestors, our forefathers who fought so hard to liberate us. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Nalumino Mundia, Mama Julia Chikamoneka, Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe, they fought so hard to put this country on the map, to put this country where it is today. No man would destroy this country because we believe in unity. One Zambia, one nation, and we shall together we will change, and we are going to change this government. My name is Blaze Zambia.
Sure, and I'll be candid. It is fake priests like Banda and the Serengeta who escalated the genocide in Rwanda to a level not seen elsewhere in the world. I want to advise Banda and the Sarangeta that turning the pulpit into a political podium by way of not preaching the holy word is a devil scheme and a satanic philosophical tactic. Everyone is aware that they are at pains to see HH outliving their expectations in delivering free education, allocating 28 million CDF funds, and employing over 30,000 teachers, as well as recruiting 11,000 health workers, just to mention but a few. Banda is a Lucifer of Zambia who wants to take advantage of the citizens by promoting the PF agenda. Who doesn't know that the PF gassed citizens, promoted bloodshed, divided the country, and subjected citizens to terrorism, stole public funds, and closed media houses, among other evils. And when such evil acts were taking place, the two priests, Sarangeta and Banda, the so-called men of God, remained mute. What a hypocrisy.
Have nothing to do with the status of the target. The rule of law says nobody is above the law. Now, this particular case has been running for some time. We seized motor vehicles in this case. Some other people that are involved, so the ZRA case, and then we were involved as investigators, some people have actually been convicted. Because government property was taken away from government and appropriated to people, individuals. Tell me what I should do as a law enforcement officer. So we issue a call out as a starting point, asking you to come because you have been mentioned in a particular activity. We want to hear your side of the story. Look, people are dubbed criminals, people are dubbed thieves in social media and so forth. We don't want that ourselves. We are professionals. We will not call you anything until it is proved in court. So we'll call you, come over, we have a chat. But here's the sad thing. When we issue a call out, colleagues, it's a private document for the person written on that document. Nelson Banda, come and report at DVC headquarters. It's for me. Then me, I'll get my lawyer, get my other lawyer, and tell them, accompany me. But what do people do? The moment you get the call out, social media. Flash it. For what? It changes nothing. What's waiting for you? So to be specific, you're asking to say, is the summoning political? Not at all. There's criminality. The Hilux is here. I'll show you the Hilux. It's here. Am I right? Is it fact here? Yes. It's here. You see it. One of them. The other one is parked. We're going to just drive it out. These are vehicles that were obtained from ZRA illegally. And then one of the vehicles is found with the same Mr. Archbishop Ali that you're talking about. This is a white one. Just his name. I want to be very categorical on this one. Please, we are not politicians. We are law enforcement officers. We operate at our own time, in our own space, because we have laws that govern our activities. It's that simple. So, there's no politics involved. Let me also emphasize, please, that no, they are fighting the Catholic Church. It's politics. I'm Catholic myself. And I'm actually a very devoted Catholic, very devout. I was even chairman for my parish. And my wife afterwards was also chairman for the same parish. We're a Catholic family. His Grace, the Archbishop, is my Archbishop. Understand this? He's my Archbishop. I'm in the Archdiocese of Lusaka myself. So there's nothing political, nothing to do with the church. We are following this name. If you come and read, it does not say Archbishop. It says Alik Banda, something address and whatever. So we checked who got this vehicle from ZRA. So we just want to establish a few things. And that is what we're doing. It's just procedural, colleagues. Bible are very, very it's just procedural. We'll send you a call out. Mr. Kom, if I need you tomorrow, I'll send a call. If you don't come, I'll send someone to lift you. Yes. So it's actually a very civil way of doing things. You know that, eh? You are called quietly. Please come over. Nobody's even going to know that anybody's called. You just come over. You come and sit in this room here. These officers here will ask you the few questions that they have. Sometimes it turns out to be that by coming, and that's what you clear a situation. Say, after all, he's not even involved. Yes. Many times, colleagues, we have had situations where we have closed cases. My office here has closed cases. Some people are watching me right now, they can agree. I've closed cases because after calling them, I said, no, he's not part of this team. I give instructions. This matter is closed. Is there any man who sees from him? Yes. Put it back in his account. We do that. We have done a lot of such cases. Vehicles, we bring them in, seize them. Then we find, no, there's no case. Or the vehicle is not connected to the offense that we're investigating. I'm not ashamed to immediately guide my officers, release that motor vehicle. It's not that I don't know how to investigate. No. It's because our investigation has yielded results. Someone was bringing back his vehicle. Houses, we have seized properties. For some time, we're even getting the rentals ourselves. We discovered, no. It was not actually like that. It was this way, that way, that way. Therefore, this house must be given back to the rightful owner, who is this one. And we give them back all the rentals we are getting back. That's how we operate. So when we do a call out, my sister, when we do a call out, it's because we want to have things clarified. It's just natural justice. Natural justice demands that the other side must be heard. While people speculate, that one is a thief. Us will not speculate. We'll call that person. Were you at Mandayo on Friday at 16 hours? Simple thing tells I was attending a funeral in Dubai. But somebody told us, no, I was not. I was in the, here's my passport. Then you realize it was the wrong time.
Enter and see the face of God,
like the deer that yearns
for running streams. So my soul is yearning for you, my God. My soul is thirsting for God, the Lord of my life. When can I enter and see the face of God? My tears have become my bread, by night, by day, as I hear it said all the day long. Where is your God? These things will I remember as I pour out my soul. How I would lead the rejoicing crowd into the house of God. Amid cries of gladness and thanksgiving, the throng wild with joy. Why are you cast down, my soul? Why groan within me? Hope in God, I will praise him still, my Savior and my God. My soul is cast down within me as I think of you, from the country of Jordan and Mount Hermon, from the hill of Mizah. Deep is calling on him in the roar of waters. Torrents and waves by day the Lord will send his loving kindness. By night I will sing to him. Praise the God of my life.
But even this one has been in the government, they know.
It's not the government which has told me. Because me, I'm under Kasanda and I'm in charge of the security of Kasanda place. Yes. When there will be another thing, I will be answerable to that. Maybe if people start fighting outside there, I'll be answerable to that. So, being that to see that security is not prepared to have this as Kasanda for this, I think we are not allowed. Yes.
But don't you want to fight?
No, it's not fighting. Me, I can't fight with anyone, sir. No. No, we are not saying that. I'm saying if people start doing that outside there.
Which people?
People have seen you, sir.
Why don't you go and talk to them to stop that fight? Because they're not allowed to fight. That's your job, to stop them from fighting, not to stop me from seeing my bishop. Your job is to stop lawbreakers or people who are planning to break the law. Not to stop me from enjoying my right to move around freely or to meet my bishop or just pay courtesy on him. That's not your job. Your job is to protect me, protect him, so that we can meet freely, talk, and then I go my way.
Yes, sir. When you were coming from Lusaka, you didn't inform us to say that.
Do I have to
will
inform
stop. I will
you?
stop.
Do I have to inform you?
No.
Do I have to inform you?
Yes. I'm surprised.
Please, Dr. Tempapo, let's respect our constitution.
Do I have to inform you? Do I have to inform you, sir?
One officer.
Let's respect our constitution.
Zambia. And you know that Zambia is a...
And this is the church, and we're a Christian nation.
What
And
constitutes-
look,
what
the
constitutes
church,
public gathering?
or maybe,
You
or
see,
maybe,
people here. You have started the public
or maybe
gathering.
we have changed the laws, which in
Have you
Parliament
seen
it doesn't
the
come.
people here? This is a cater school in an office. Does the bishop has the time to the right to invite anybody and then notify you? Do you own this place? I'm asking you, do you own the church?
The reason why you are not even comfortable as you speak to
I'm-
us.
So you want me to be comfortable?
No,
Sit down.
listen.
Sit down.
No, I'm not allowed to
The
sit
reason
down.
why
Good day. Happy New Year to you and welcome to today's broadcast. It's a holidays and I didn't think that we'll have a discussion. I thought that I could start my broadcast. I think tomorrow we've lined up various senior leaders of our country who are aspiring to be president, about 25 of them. And we hope that they can come and explain to you, Zambians, why they are suitable to become, to challenge President Hakainde Hichilema and subsequently beat him in an election in 2026. We're looking for a leader as a platform, a leader that can gather his colleagues, a leader who has capacity to rule over the country, a leader who was a teaching spirit, who can listen to his colleagues and to the people of Zambia who will have voted him, a leader with capacity to challenge President Hakainde Hichilema and carry the vote. So we have invited all the leaders that are aspiring for nearly all of them, if so far confirmed, and beginning tomorrow, I think you will see as we begin to roll the leaders. And we might have a top 5 of them again come back just to re-emphasize who they are and what they can tell us. We are having a special broadcast on the summoning by the Drug Enforcement Commission of Archbishop of Lusaka Archdiocese, the Catholic Archbishop, His Grace Dr. Alik Banda. This is unprecedented. This is totally unprecedented in our country. So they've issued a call out dated 31st December yesterday, and a head of anti-money laundering unit took this call out to the Lusaka Archdiocese for the Archbishop to report himself to the DEC on 5th January 2026. This brought alarm in the country. As we have seen in the video, we need to trace back. We have the case of Father Anton Salangeta of Chawama Parish, when President Hakainde Hichilema held a press conference. If you remember that press conference, he had brought some charts to demonstrate that the economy under the UPND and himself was doing far better, was registering growth far better than any of the previous presidents had ever done so. Now, that press conference brought ridicule in the country because we were suffering the worst load shedding at the time. Our country was suffering the highest cost of living. And remember, there was shortage of even millimio, and it was sailing around 450 kwacha from 120 kwacha where they found it. Fuel was in excess of 34, 35 kwacha. From the 17 kwacha they had found it. The dollar was standing around 28 kwacha to $1. And for the president to come and demonstrate that his economy was doing far better, he was just called a naked emperor who was not sensitive and who was not aware of the country was ruling. So in one of his homilies, Father Anton Selengeta, from the deanery of Chawama, which is under the Archdiocese of Lusaka, mocked the president and said, "Look, Bakateka, muchalo ulutoshi," meaning food on the table is the economy of Zambia. If there is no food on the table, there is no economy in Zambia. President Hakainde Hichilema was so annoyed with that statement. He had a public appearance and he ridiculed and condemned. I think he was donating the first CDF vehicles. I think those were monitoring and evaluation vehicles. I think those were the first ones before the police and CDF vehicles. And President Hakainde Hichilema said if the priest didn't know mathematics, if he didn't know economics, if he was not educated, if he didn't know graphs and statistics, he should just stay quiet. Now, again, that exposed the president to more ridicule, because everyone knows minimum education for a priest, a Catholic priest, not Avama pastors, Catholic priest, minimum is 7 years. They usually have 2 minimum degrees by the time they are graduating. And, even when you see a junior priest, they have minimum 7, 8, 9 years education. So for the president to allege that Father Salangeta was not educated, couldn't read statistics, it just exposed again the president that he was living in a utopia. But in the subsequent homilies, Archbishop Alec Banda defended Archbishop, one of his priests of Chawama, and he said he was right about Ulutoshi and the cost of living, and the duty of the president and his government was to attend to the suffering of our people and not to mock them and ridicule them. Then there was a barrage of attacks, including that video I just played of this man, the UPND Secretary General Batuke Imenda. Batuke Imenda held a press conference at which he called the Archbishop of Lusaka as the Lucifer of Zambia, and he said he was capable of bringing genocide like it occurred in Rwanda. Now, those views were inflammatory. They were promoting hate. They were defamatory. He had literally committed criminal defamation. And stakeholders called on President Hakainde Hichilema to deal with his UPND Secretary General, Batuke Imenda. But did the president deal with Batuke Imenda? No, he didn't. In fact, we saw celebration by President Hakainde Hichilema's own newspaper, Koswe, which is run by the administrators who run State House Media. They began barrage of attacks on the Archbishop. You must have seen some of the worst reporting I've seen in our country were conducted by Koswe from State House, insulting, demeaning, ridiculing, alleging things against the Archbishop. That year, towards the end, the Catholic bishops, the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, met and analyzed the country and agreed with various reports that had said the load shedding that we're suffering was one of the worst we've ever had. The cost of living our people the cost of living crisis that we're facing, again, the worst in living memory. They wanted the president to attend also to the corruption that had emerged, the shortages of medicines in hospitals. Remember, we had that huge crisis where for 2 years, there were no medicines in hospitals. And the bishops were asking, what are you going to do about this? What about the lives that have been lost because there have been no medicine for 2 years? So a key issue that came from that pastoral letter, if you look at that pastoral letter, was also the reference to President Hakainde Hichilema's own online newspapers that were very rogue. They urged President Hakainde Hichilema to close those rogue newspapers, especially the one run at State House, because they said, you cannot insult your own citizens. You cannot insult stakeholders using your own newspaper. You are now president of the entire country. You are supposed to be president of all. You cannot be insulting your own citizen, even through the means of Koswe and others. And they urged the president that maybe it was understandable when you were in opposition. Because in opposition, maybe you practice guerrilla, media, guerrilla. You had to maintain these rogue sites for the reason that maybe you were shut out of ZNBC Times, Daily, Zanis, and other media. Now you are president. You've access to all these media. Why don't you propagate development? Why don't you propagate policy? Why don't you propagate messages that unite our country instead of dividing us? Did Hichilema close the newspapers? No, he didn't. In fact, this is what he did. One of the stakeholders went and challenged the president to close Koswe newspaper. He laughed. He says, why would I close it? These are dogs. Do you put your dogs away at home? No, you lock them up, but you need them in the evenings to chase the thieves. This stakeholder was shocked by the response by the president. He expected that the president was going to denounce, distance himself from these rogue news sites run by his media team at State House. No, the president said no, gave an analogy of a dog, that you have bulldogs. You need them in times, there are times you need them. So now we understand how he leashes these dogs on people like Archbishop Alec Banda, on people like, all of us, whether it's Fred Membe, whether it's Given Lubinda, whether it's Emily Skars, whether it's Brebna Changala, whether it is any stakeholder, whether it's NGOCC, whether it's LAS, have suffered the brunt of these vitriolic, defamatory attacks that comes from President Hakainde Hichilema's own newspapers. He didn't listen to the bishops that he should close the newspapers. Now we understand he was behind it. There was another serious case when the nuncio, apostolic nuncio, who's a papal ambassador, who's an ambassador for the Pope from the Vatican, went to see the president in December last year. I think the Pope was, the ambassador was, I think, saying farewell. The apostolic nuncio for Zambia and Malawi is resident in Zambia. So he went to see President Hakainde Hichilema. In that meeting, President Hakainde Hichilema demanded that the office of the apostolic nuncio should help him in removing Archbishop Alec Banda. He accused him of treason because apparently in one of the homilies he had said governments like this don't last. And President Hakainde Hichilema took that to be treason. That how could he say my government will not last? What is he planning? Who is he? What is he doing? Remember, they've always accused him of being PF because he was deemed close to the late president. So he accused the Archbishop of not only this motor vehicle, this is not the first time it's coming up, but also accused the Archbishop of Lusaka of treason. And during that Christmas period, the matter was so serious that you saw an urgent letter, an open letter by John Sangwa State Council, civil society activist and prominent constitutional lawyer, and Dr. Sishua, who were alarmed by the meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema and the Apostolic Nuncio, in which they urged the president, to stop forthwith his attacks on the Archbishop of Lusaka. He's a man of God, he's just doing his role and speaking for the poor. and the unnecessary hunger and anger he has against well, am I audible? I'm getting a funny notice here that I'm not audible, but I think I'm audible. If I'm audible, please just confirm for me. I'm getting an feedback that I'm not audible. Yeah. Okay, it looks like I'm okay, but tell me in the comments in case I'm not audible so that I'm quickly alert and can see and check my equipment. So the culmination of this notice by the police, by the DEC, is not an act of the rule of law, as many of you are arguing from the UPND, that no one is above the law. Like DEC was saying that no one is above the law. We know the details. You are hanging on clutches. You are literally, hanging on straws, trying to find a case against the Archbishop. We know, all of us know about this case of Kingsley Chanda and that motor vehicle. Let me just refresh this particular case. Kingsley Chanda has been in court. Yeah, Kingsley Chanda, who was Commissioner General at the Zambia Revenue Authority, and Kalitas Kauma, who was Director of Administration, were charged with that they willfully failed to comply with the law and ZRA procedure in the disposal of 22 used motor vehicles. At the beginning, there were 60 motor vehicles, but they narrowed down to these 22. Remember, alongside the case, Causeway and State House were running parallel stories that Kingsley Chanda had given 22 motor vehicles to the Patriotic Front. When you look at the entire case, I think the testimony of note comes from the ZRA board secretary, Sujo Ngandu, who testified in the Financial and Economic Crimes Court. Sujo alleged that there was a vehicle that moved out of ZRA without a gate pass. A gate pass is an authority you get when you've bought a vehicle either on auction or through ZRA, and the release of that vehicle from where the vehicles are kept, like in bond or in custody or in... So the ZRA issues is a gate pass. And they alleged that, she alleged that there were, of these vehicles that were donated, remember, the 22 vehicles, some were donated to DMMU, others to Financial Intelligence Center, to the police, to UTH, especially for goods that were seized, like smuggled milk or smuggled whatever, they were donated to UTH. There were vehicles of particular interest that were donated to a charity that belongs to the Lusaka Archdiocese. And then she alleged in her testimony, Sujo Ngandu, that she's former ZRA board commissioner. She alleged that there was a vehicle, to her knowledge, that went to the Archbishop Alik Banda, among the vehicles that the 22 that were disposed of. In that case, Kingsley Chanda was found guilty that he didn't follow procedure and that he didn't follow ZRA policy on disposal of assets. Kingsley Chanda and Kingsley Chanda and our dear brother Kalistas Kauma are challenging that. They produced, especially for those that were following the case, they produced the ZRA disposal asset policy. They produced documents relating to the decisions that were made, and even in that process, Kingsley Chanda didn't even sit in that committee. And they also produced, in relation to the vehicle, that relates to Archbishop Alec Banda. Let me just find the gate pass that they had found. If I can read it just here, just give me a moment. So in defense, when Kingsley Chanda came up to defend himself, he removed and testified before court a gate pass, and there were stamps dated 13th November and 20th November, because I think there is a checking system by either the first officer, then the supervisory officer before a vehicle, which is in bond or in custody of ZRA, is released. Remember, ZRA, for these vehicles that are seized, people have failed to pay taxes, or they are stolen, or whatever it is that ZRA, that these vehicles are found, there's a mechanism in which ZRA disposes of. And like the 22 vehicles that are where ZRA buys new vehicles and decides to dispose of these vehicles. So the vehicle relating to Archbishop Alec Banda, Kingsley Chanda produced evidence in court that the records show that a gentleman called Mlopa Kaunda bought this vehicle from ZRA, paid for it, and a receipt was issued. The vehicle is a Toyota Hilux ALF 7734. This is a vehicle that was criminalized because this gentleman, Mlopa Kaunda, ended up donating it to the Archbishop, who, according to what we understand, changed ownership to his name. And ZRA have been very interested in the state have been very interested in these two vehicles. The one that went to the charity of Lusaka Archdiocese, and the vehicle that a member of staff bought, a member of staff called Mlopa Kaunda, who got this vehicle on 13th November and 20th November 2020, paid and demonstrated receipts to ZRA, and the vehicles were released to him. And this vehicle is now, what we understand, ended up to be a gift to the Archbishop. ZRA and the police have been very excited about this matter. With the attacks by President Hakainde Hichilema, this formed fuel now to scandalize and embarrass Archbishop Alec Banda, because now they want to portray him as a thief, as one who's keeping stolen articles of ZRA. You heard the prejudicial statement from Nelson Banda, who purports to be a Catholic. And it's like those 6 ministers. Every time the Archbishop Ignatius Chama or Archbishop Alec Banda or any of the priests issues a statement, the so-called 6 Catholic ministers led by Jack Mwimbo and Felix Mutat always appear and defend President Hakainde Hichilema government, and they want to wear a jacket that we are senior Catholic members. Something I've never heard of in the Catholic, where someone presents himself that they are senior Catholic members. Because what I know in the Catholic, the only senior members is a leadership structure from the Pope, Archbishop, Cardinal, Archbishop, Bishop, up to lay priests. That is the leadership of, you can't come, the 6 ministers, the way they like, coming to defend President Hakainde Hichilema and claim that they are senior members. There might be senior members in Hichilema's government, but in the Catholic Church, they are just lay members, parishioners, ordinary Catholic faithfuls, like the so-called Nelson Banda, who's also purporting to be a senior Catholic member, a language these men use as if they are not Catholic themselves. So, is Archbishop Dr. Alec Banda above the law? No, he's not above the law. Should DEC investigate him if there is matters of criminality or concerns? Yes, they should. Where is the problem? The problem is you are using the law. You've weaponized law enforcement agencies. You have directed the DEC to embarrass, scandalize. You know there is no matter. Just looking at the testimonies. Someone was saying, but Kingsley Chanda was convicted and we ought to respect the judgment. Well, First of all, we know what's happening in those courts. But if you look at the details, Kingsley Chanda and Kauma have such a good case. They didn't steal. They are being accused of abusing their office, and they've demonstrated using the ZRI policy on disposal of assets. They've used cabinet guidelines in disposal of state assets, because ZRI, although it's an independent autonomy and agency, it's still a public institution. They use those policies in disposing of these assets. And in relation to the vehicle relating to the Archbishop, it was bought by Mulopakaunda, who collected this vehicle after showing the authorities the receipts, and the vehicle was released to him. What he did with the vehicle should never be an issue with the DEC. My question is, has Mulopakaunda ever been convicted for stealing a vehicle from ZRA, so that the vehicle found with Archbishop Malik Banda will be a stolen asset? Has he been convicted? The conviction of Kingsley Chanda and Kauma is not related to the vehicle, it's related to their offices. Remember, they've been charged with abuse of office, that they didn't follow procedure. So in the procedure, there is claim that they didn't. Of course, it involves the 22 vehicles. But no one has been convicted of having stolen any of the 22 vehicles. No one. Kingsley Chanda is being accused that he didn't follow procedure. So is this vehicle a stolen vehicle? No, it is not. It is not at this stage. This is an abuse of the process by President determined to remove an archbishop who he doesn't like, an archbishop who's very vocal, an archbishop who speaks for the people, an archbishop who's determined that the rule of law, according to social justice, their social justice, which is ingrained in their training, that it is followed. They speak for the poor, they speak for good governance, they will oppose if you are engaged in illegal constitutional amendments, as they've done under Oasis Forum. They will call out your corruption. Nelson Banda is such an embarrassment. Nelson Banda, there was hope that his second coming after his first dismissal, that he'll be exemplary. He's not. He's been an embarrassment. I'm using this term very, very strongly. Let me give you an example of the gold scandal, the biggest scandal that graced the CNN, BBC, was major media organization, from Australia to Canada, from the US to London, from India to China. That case put Zambia on the spotlight. There was a $50 million airplane that government seized. Nelson Banda and his team have released that. Even when it was subsequently seized and forfeited to the state in accordance to our law, Nelson Banda and his team have released that $50 million plane to the Egyptians. And the suspects, all of them were released. Remember, they attempted just to pursue one person and put him on the case, Shadrach Kapasakasanda, who they said was the mastermind. Okay, if Shadrach was a mastermind, who switched off the CCTV at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport? Who allowed the plane to be at the presidential pavilion, the same Egyptian plane? Because it parked at presidential pavilion where this transaction was taking place. Who allowed it to park at the presidential pavilion? And they accused Mulungu Oswald Diangamo. Mulungu Oswald Diangamo Jim Belemu Diangamo, Mulungu Oswald, and the gentleman from State House Security, all of them were released just looking at the names because I want to. Then there was $5.7 million that was seized. You remember the owner of the money, the Egyptian, issued a video. He says it was $11 million. DEC claims it was $5.7 million. What happened to the $6 million? Before we go to the gold scandal, let's come to our own institutions. The Financial Intelligence Center says every year we are losing $3.5 billion. Where is the DEC anti-money laundering unit to pursue this $3.5 billion that we are losing every year? The large-scale acts of crimes that have occurred in the sale of Mupani, KCM, the change of ownership for Kansanshi copper and gold mine. Where is DEC in these huge cases? Where is DEC? When the SEC, their counterparts, have said 5 ministers have been found wanting and they've been seeking permission from the president to pursue and prosecute these 5 cabinet ministers and the 2 permanent secretaries that were cited. Where is DEC in this? Nelson Banda, the party Hilux, whose facts is aware because he has handled this matter from 2023 when State House was very excited about it. He's been very excited about this matter. He's been dealing, he has all the facts of all the parties involved and he knows the truth. So why does he choose to scandalize the Archbishop? It's very simple because we have a president who has hijacked institutions. That's why you can have a speaker dance and nothing can be done to her, celebrating an oppressive process, an illegal process, an constitutional process. Nothing will be done to her. That's why you can have electoral commission do what they're doing. Chitambo, there's a by-election in Chitambo, UPND, like they always do, moved in, beat up UPPZ, chased them away, and they didn't allow them in the polling stations. And if you see from the results, they are not even signed by anyone other than the UPND, and this is it. And that has been the pattern from Kawambwa, Pambashe, Mwense, Mfuwe, Elumezi, and any other by-election. Our dear sister, Womwangala Zalomis, can get away with it because you have a president who has hijacked these institutions. So it's very regrettable that you have a man like Nelson Banda participating in these very dirty schemes. I wrote a matter for response as I invite you to come on board and make your contributions. I wrote a piece to denounce the president, that what the president is doing in harassing and humiliating the Archbishop is just stoking the political tensions that are in the country. And I said the president is making words come to reality. The words that were said by our president, founding president, Dr. Kenneth David Buchizia Kaunda, who said, if there's any man he fears in our country, among all leaders, to become president, he says, the only man I fear is Hakainde Hichilema. The young man was interviewing him, tried to sway him elsewhere, but the man was focused on what he wanted to say. Remember in 2008, President Kaunda supported Hichilema, and in 2011, there was some loose alliance and coalition with UNIP, and he supported Hichilema. So what changed? Why did Kaunda change? What did he see? What did Dr. Kaunda know? He says, if there's any man that he fears to be president of our country, who will likely destroy our country, was President Hakainde Hichilema. So I wrote a piece and I stated that the views of Dr. Kaunda are becoming true because the country now is at its precipice, literally precipice. The tensions, social, economic, tribal tensions. Just look at the comments even on social media. It is so embarrassing how divided our country is. If it's a matter, a very controversial matter, you will see one set of tribe supporting this particular matter and another set of tribe supporting. It's no longer even about an issue. We are so polarized. I warned that President Hakainde Hichilema may take us to civil conflict. And a pastor, bishop of a so-called ministry, Agape ministry, let me name him, a gentleman called Bishop Bilon Kalumbinga. I don't know who ordained him, but he has accused me that I'm inciting. Well, I'm not inciting, Bishop. The IMF, in its report of 2023, said the political, social, and economic tensions occurring in Zambia, they use the word civil unrest. The country can degenerate to civil unrest. The Human Rights Watch International, in its 2024 country report, used words like popular unrest, popular uprising, when they surveyed the tensions occurring. Why did I use such strong words? It's a warning of the state of the country, how I find it and how many stakeholders find it. That the tensions that we are experiencing are extremely dangerous. It's like the calm before the storm. You know how calm it looks, and when the storm comes, it sweeps everything. That's where we are. Yes, there's peace, there's calm, but it looks like it's the calm before the storm. If you are the sensitive president, if you had a president who would look at these reports, he would not act carelessly. He will be building the nation. He will be bridging the gaps that have emerged. He will be uniting the country. He will not be engaged in careless activities. But this is a man who's reckless at every turn. In 2023, they were telling him there's a drought coming, one of the worst droughts in many years. Don't sell your maize. He proceeded to sell the maize. The price of milling was reigning at 450 kwacha. No one thought in Zambia that we can ever have price of milling meal reigning above 200 kwacha. Well, it was at 450 kwacha for many months. The price of fuel was at 35 kwacha. Electricity everywhere. He is not sensitive to what others are warning. Because when they give you a scenario like that, your duty is to use power, your state power, to unite the country, to, like I'm saying, to bridge the division that is escalating, to stop inflammatory, unnecessary attacks that occur, like his own newspapers that he runs from State House. A president with a scenario given of the state of the country will be more responsible, will be more conciliatory in approach. This president inflames emotions. Couldn't the DEC have waited? And we have demonstrated that they don't even have a case. This is a case. We are going into 2026. Hichilema wants silence. He has a Cyber Security and Crimes Act. He's silenced the nation. He has passed in a terrible law in Bill 7 that has now become Act number 13 of the Constitution of Zambia. He wants silence. And when he looks around, he finds a head like that of Archbishop Alec Banda, and is afraid that that Archbishop will speak. He wants him out, and he has unleashed Nelson Banda and his team despite the facts. So, Bishop Biloni Kalumbinga, my plea to you, like I asked you a question, I said, Bishop Biloni Kalumbinga of Agape Ministries, where were you when Archbishop Alec Banda was called the Lucifer of Zambia? Where was your voice? Why didn't you rise to condemn such a characterization of a senior man of our country? Where were you when Sean Tembo tried to prosecute Batuke Imenda, who had issued these statements, and the DPP withdrew and discontinued that case? Where was your voice, Bishop Bilon Kalumbinga? Where was your voice when the Zambia police stormed the Cathedral of the Child Jesus and locked out Archbishop Alik Banda for 5 hours from his own church? Where were you, Bishop Kalumbinga? Where is your voice when State House Media, Koswe, scandalizes issues, criminal defamation and hate speech against Archbishop Alik Banda and others? Where is your voice? We are at a precipice. Unless you cannot resolve the problem unless you accept the problem. In Zambia, we want to lie and pretend that things are okay. Things are not okay. If poverty levels are, first let's go to the legacy issues. If poverty levels is at the level it is, over 60%, meaning out of 10 people, 6 people go hungry many days. If your unemployment rate is running up to 90%, forget these ones where they say, no, the large up to 60% are in agriculture. Oh, those people are literally unemployed. No security, no nothing, no savings, no nothing. And they quickly go into poverty. For example, if there's a drought, if even just a briefcase man in Crooksem of their maize or produce. So World Bank has a way of massaging, trying to claim that the large population of our people in rural areas are employed. Going by American, UK, European standards, those are unemployed. So if you have up to 90% of your people, are you at peace? And if our people are going hungry, they can't afford just literally their lives, and then there are no jobs, are you at peace? What is peace? I'm privileged to be a peace and security expert at master's level. And I know what peace is. And I know how fragile peace is. And we are at that precipice. Unless we get a leadership that will unite the country, that will detribalize our country, who recognize that we are a multi-ethnic, multi-tribal, multi-religious society. So, let me hear from you about share, and let me hear from you about Archbishop Alik Banda and this matter.
My sisters and brothers, we as a Catholic Church leadership encourage our faithful to take part in the political process by joining political parties of their own choice. The MMD, to which Dr. Frederick Chiluba belongs, and of which he has re-emerged recently as a very vocal spokesperson. The name of Archbishop Mpundu is sung even more than those of other bishops. Archbishop Mpundu is regarded as patriotic front number one. This, of course, is preposterous. But that is what the MMD believes and says. Frederick Chiluba's successor in State House openly accused Archbishop Mpundu of being partisan at a meeting on the matter of the Constitution with the Catholic bishops in July 2007, just 3 weeks before the ordination of Bishop Banda in Solwezi. The president cited intelligence sources that had kept reporting to him that Archbishop Mpundu was a member of the Patriotic Front. Now, if this is the type of mark that the intelligence sources can come up with,
my intelligence is down.
Then intelligence services is a phrase that covers a multitude of sins. I shudder to think of what else they have manufactured in the past and what they can genetically engineer in future against the government's real or perceived enemies, particularly during the run-up to next year's elections. In the media, both print and electronic, and even in the National Assembly,
My name in the National Assembly was called Telephone, Telegram, Tell a Man, Tell No Man, Tell a Woman, God bless us. I said, my name is very clearly written. You see, the so-called legacy is a figment of some people's fertile imagination. A creation of a clique of people with vested interests in returning or ascending to political power. President Mwanawasa didn't talk about his legacy. It's only people who after him. The only legacy I know, the legacy that you know, is that once elected into power, our leaders become arrogant and intransigent. They want us to shut up, sit up, and put up. Only some months ago, this nation listened in bewilderment as a minister of religion, a pastor, who also happens to be the minister of information, on the floor of the National Assembly, departed from his allotted task of telling the nation the root cause of political cadre violence and how to arrest the situation. See, cadres in this country are like babies leading their parents, or like a tail that is wagging the dog. We have witnessed cadres threaten physical violence and death to Father Frank Boy, to Father Moel. They have threatened Honorable Nawakwi with appalling sexual violence. Edith Nawakwi, my sister, my mother. Terrible things coming out of the mouths of children who should respect our mothers. On the 8th, we celebrate World Women's Day. And yet we let all these children insult our mothers and our sisters. This is criminal. But no arrest, as far as I know. I can be corrected. No charges, not that I know of.
In my view, Your Grace, what you have done is to ask the question that Jesus asked that soldier who slapped him for saying the truth. He said to that soldier, why have you slapped me? If I've said something wrong, explain. If not, why have you slapped me? And personally, I'm very happy that today you've asked that question. Why have you been slapped? Why have I been slapped? Why are all the 4 million Catholics in this country being slapped by one thief, Dr. Frederick Chiruba? Finally, I must say that Catholics are aware that his maneuvers are sponsored by State House. And we are being slapped so that we keep quiet. And I think this will not be tolerated. So
this news, but children outside wedlock should not take the Eucharist. I wanted to find out what is the church teaching on who should eat the Eucharist.
I think this is in reference to Mr. Michael Sato. First of all, the so-called marriage. It's not a marriage. If you are in concubinage or cohabitation, you cannot call it marriage. So, that is clear. Now, as to who receives the Eucharist. First of all, you have to ask yourself, Michael Sata, Mr. Michael Sata, is a Catholic, but he is also a former seminarian. Okay? So he knows exactly at what time, at what point he can approach this most holy of all sacraments. They know the regulations. They know the rules. So if Mr. Michael Sat has been seen receiving communion at his own parish, surely it is something that concerns that particular parish. It is something that has been examined by that particular parish. I don't know if there aren't people here with sisters who are single parents, or even mothers who are single parents. As regards the receiving of communion of Mr. Sato, how do we know that the parish priest has dealt with that situation, and that this man, whom we point a finger at the same time 5 fingers are also pointing backwards to us, has repented. All you have to know is that regulations are there, and they are there for parish priests and their communities and their pastoral teams to administer.
I would like to find out, in your statement you said that as a Catholic Church you encourage your members to belong to their political parties of their choice, and you only give guidelines. So I would like to find out what kind of guidelines you give and what leadership you want to see after 2011.
So we tell them, time has come for us to celebrate our democracy. So please, please be peaceful, and love is our big weapon as Catholics, as Christians. Then who do you elect? Unfortunately, because our democracy is very young, I am going to vote PF because I belong to PF, UPND because I belong to UPND, MMD because I belong to MMD. I don't have to vote for an MMD, even if I am MMD. I look at the person who is standing. Is this person going to deliver? Is this person going to stand for us in the National Assembly and articulate issues?
We need to thank the Catholic Church through their bishops for rejecting Bill 10, for providing leadership in rejecting Bill 10.
Hello, caller. Happy New Year and welcome to today's program.
Happy New Year, Ambassador Mwamba. I am so privileged to be the first caller for this new year. I just want to say thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. God bless you. My name is Nyangwe Dani. I am just so honored to say this, and my contribution today is this. People that are called by saying you are men of God and your job is to lead people that God has chosen you to lead. I want also your followers to understand to say this. Be a follower of the word of God, not human beings. Just on the 29th of Ambassador Mwamba, twalibona abantu, these so-called men of God, via KIC, and they were talking and saying things about the new government. Where were these men when today still the body of our president is not buried? Where are these men? Why are they not issued out any?
Yeah.
People. And then the other thing is, my call today, Mwebantu, we have won Zambia, and we're seeing what is happening. This call to have the Bishop of Lusaka to go and attend this is mockery. And it all goes back to what Wakaunda warned us. Uyumuntu, it will divide and put our nation into chaos. Mwebantu, let's not accept this anymore. Mwebantu mleufwa wonse, ababantu abalifu kuleta division mukantu mwezi tieni nawo, let's not follow them. Let's unite with one voice and let's take these people out of power. May God bless Zambia. May God bless you, Ambassador Mwamba. May you continue with this fight. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. God bless you.
Thank you. The lines are open. You can go and contribute. We are discussing the case of summoning of Archbishop by the Drug Enforcement Commission. What is your view? I've just had a discussion here where I've demonstrated that this is not about rule of law. It has nothing to do with the rule of law if you look at the facts. This is about humiliating and embarrassing a senior man whose duty has just been to speak for our people. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. You are speaking to Mr. Chikoti.
Mr. Chikoti, make your contributions.
Okay, Mwamba, I just wanted to find out what is happening with our bishop.
They've summoned him to go to the DEC on 5th January 2026. They are alleging that there's a motor vehicle of interest they are looking at. Yes.
Oh, but the question, why now? What's going on? I'm trying to transform.
Okay, I'll answer you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Happy New Year, Mwamba. This is Mama T.
Mama T, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Yes, Mwamba, you've spoken very well, my brother. Na mwishiwa problem tukwete na tukwata problem Mzambia ikulu nayo. Like you've put it. You know, KK warned us, and now we are seeing what the big man was telling us about. Zambia is more divided now, more than ever. And you see, this rule and divide of Hakainde Hichilema is not taking us anywhere. And the problem that I have again is that us Zambians, we can't stand for ourselves. We are just watching, seeing a dictator being built before our eyes, and we are quiet. We've been told that no one should accompany the bishop when going to present himself on Monday. Intimidation has already started. What kind of country is this? Look at that Banda, the way he's coming out. And it's okay for Banda to threaten people, to say whatever he's saying. Like you've said, this issue of this vehicle has been there. We understand that it was gifted to the bishop, but no, they just want to scandalize his name. What kind of a nation is this? What kind of ruling is this? What kind of governing a nation is this? We are in trouble, Emmanuel Mwamba.
Thank you, my dear sister.
Okay, thank you so much. Continue doing the good job that you're doing out there. You know, in Zambia, we are scared. Some of us, even if we want to come out the way we should come out, we are scared.
No, I understand,
We don't
Mama.
know.
No, I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mwamba. My name is Joseph.
Joseph, make your contributions. Joseph, make your contribution.
Yes. My question to you.
Oh, our colleague is having difficulties. Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Iyo tuwabo manga mumlishani.
Ambassador najira kwa ve mundi jengo ve ulimbo lukumine pali ile district yulalo amazana mwala mkwa ro bana gioni.
Oh, mtuminako mwana ndu mfweko tumatulurishe. Someone says I need to listen to a song. Well, send it to me. I may not have it. Send it to me. We are looking at the matter of the DEC summoning the Archbishop Alik Banda. This is a matter regarding 22 vehicles that were donated by the Zambia Revenue Authority to various institutions, including DMMU, the police, Financial Intelligence Center, and others. There are two vehicles of interest that the police and DEC have been looking at, but as we've demonstrated, first, no one has been convicted of theft of that motor vehicle. No one has established that that motor vehicle was stolen. For it to be a matter for interest, to be treated as a stolen item. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello?
Speaking with Emmanuel Mwamba.
Okay, make your contributions. Hello? Uh-oh. Is the network down in Lusaka? What's happening? Hello, caller. Hello, caller. The vehicle, the gate pass showed that an individual bought this vehicle, an individual that has been identified according to these documents called Mulopakaunda on 13th November 2020. He produced receipts, and whether he ended up giving such a vehicle to the Archbishop is what is making us annoyed because of the manner President Hakainde Hichilema has treated Archbishop Alec Banda and the Catholic in general. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you so much. I'm calling from Lusaka, still anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Thank you so much. My contribution, we are coming from 2025. We've crossed to 2026 with the same hatred. Archbishop is not a small boy. He's not a boy, a baby. These are big people in the society that we need to respect. And I can assure you that this 2026, President Hakainde Hichilema, if you continue with this kind of behavior, you will not finish this 2026. You should understand there are certain people that you don't have to play with. That man is too spiritual, and we need to respect such kind of people. And what he's doing is creating a war, that is spiritual war that he cannot even quench. And I'm very worried about his life because he has gone too much. This is what we call, he has crossed the boundary.
No, my brother, don't threaten, don't threaten. Remember, we are preaching peace here. Don't threaten, don't threaten. Maintain the integrity. Just speak what is wrong, but don't go to those levels. Help my platform.
It is very wrong. Thank you so much. It is very wrong to treat a big man in the community, in the society, in such a manner, because he deserves respect. I submit. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Callers, help me. Don't threaten the president. Even when you hear me speak, I'm saying the president must act responsibly, must not abuse the law. He shouldn't be a dictator. But don't use a platform to, let's not. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yes, Ambassador, I've sent the song on your WhatsApp.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me check it. Please go. We are discussing the case of the DEC summoning Archbishop Alec Banda. I think it's terribly political. It has nothing to do with the rule of law. It's not about whether the Archbishop is above the law, is not above the law, but you are abusing the law to silence a critical voice in our country. And the facts themselves tell the story. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello?
Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Good evening.
To start with, thank you very much for your job well done. You have said it very well. Your operation is very clear. You have understood. Yeah, it's clear that it's only what they want is just to remove Alec Banda from his seat so that at least a puppet can be there, person who cannot talk. But God is with us. God has got power. He has his own way of doing things. I'm sure, and that threatening you, that way from the deck to say don't come with cadres, it has started right now because we saw people going at courts, at police, with people supporting them, standing in solidarity. But for them, right now, it's an offense to go with people to stand in solidarity. We know what is happening. It's bad anyway, it's not okay. We didn't expect this to happen in our country. Otherwise, okay, Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Don't be intimidated. I hope you go as well to stand with the bishop. I hope the Law Association and all the lawyers can go there. I hope that Oasis Forum can mobilize and go there. I hope that Catholic laymen will go there. They're trying to identify and isolate, the shepherd from the sheep. Because if a wolf is left with a sheep, what do you expect? So they are isolating the shepherd from the sheep. That's why they are saying the shepherd should not come alone. The shepherd should come alone. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Mwamba.
Good evening.
I'm calling you from Shirundu, Zambia.
Yes, my brother. Make your contributions.
Even the Papa Mwamba, Bishop. It's the same issue Kings and they are saving, is it?
Yes.
But others are saving and you want to investigate something, while others has already been they're saving. So I don't know what law they are playing, because if some people have already saved that issue, why calling someone? And is it a crime for someone to be given something? Let me say, is it a crime? So today, Papa, what's happening? Otherwise, just continue talking about Zambia. If you interfere, we know.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they're trying to criminalize a gift. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Endita.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, my brother.
Thank you. Mlenga Boniface kuchingola.
Mkaiba Mlenga.
Iya shimutretere iya pali bahali kibanda wa bishop wesu wa mkatolika. Achipapa sana ilo nachimona ba Nelson balelo ndolola efyo bachira imama baka kulondera kwa tifi tunafiri bwino. Ngo balilondolo ifinto shi abantu tabayishiwa. Before bacha pretend kwa abantu tabayishimeli ya shoferi yabo. Erocho twinga ko bati ba Nelson mishiwe ko bati icharo cha Zambia chalitekwa n'abantu abengi sana. Abantu babika muri ife bifulo muri mbo bahali kwa Nelson Banda bengi. Elonga tamule bomba accordingly nefye charo chirefu ana mafunde alefu ayi. Mule ipanga fe mwebe ne tipo. Mule itipa fye. Na fyonzo fe mwinga fuayo kwe bati ngabomba fyonzo fe kesa pone na umenjina mwa. Chilala ndati yo mwa mkathiriki whatever. Choto mwene chakutira ubuteko bwa UPN fe kule tontongana. Finto fe abantu abengi tetu tontongana. Ngamule yukisha sana ndonse tulalanda poto alikwete ba 340 mpundu aba 340 government. Ifi di bahali kibanda ili ba pangi omulandu ba president abalipo uwa mortgage. Ize wama bale ya kuchimboka ila ukuba monaka nokubacha kamfu nokucha itakumuna abo owalipo nokumucha convince kwe bati no since vina fichitika filabeko baba funya because uli omulandu ukulu omulandu waliko uwa mortgage kachakutira twaliko hata issue ya kuba posera amaboko bayiche kuno abayiche baba pera ati omulandu tuli mfuati wa terrorist ngawati moya mortgage kuti yapera kwiza so kama mwesa roje vintu viretika tabale fuaya umuntu wakubeba ati shimulefu okuchita mwalufyanya nangu shimule tsaku bantu mwalufyanya ishi abani enemy even a bishop wa Tresford mpundu after okulanda batambira okubapera amashuri ayalubana njuba chashani bayikala lero chilipo chakutira konkanye nipo nokulafu ayokubomba muri umusango nokufisa amafisa kano ayali muri government for today but mwilabo kwe bati Zambia ya UPND Zambia yabikala chalo bonse lero nga mwalata akanya ntunguru shishiri mu mapepo na mwishwa no kwe bati nangu tule mutakanya muri chimusango talimo because gifting yafu makumuntu kuti mwambo ukonkera moshano namali city yonso profit na yonso profit kuti mwambo ukonka shano umuntu lelo twaralolera bamwamba lesa umwene ali kwa toluse lelo filafini abantu abengi balera ndatu mukulu apusa feriwe ichebo chena tapusa bakaundolo batu webere chamuneke kwati wofi again ngatwabwera muri bible kwa likolo barefu aso naponga niso huja abantu bamwene fi okulepa kwa mubiri bati bamuna mwatiringi uyo muntu kuti ateke chalo ife ashireta mbo kutsika ali pili wike atambo kushupa bena Zambia ife tike uteko wa UPN avena zambe vamwene kwati vokuteka kuti wasunga abantu isho waisa piriuka afika tupiriuka mubedi ngana ulala waisa sangana ulo shome sokota wachirochi chiangu kapo kuti waisa isangana kwa TV waisa piriuka kwatika tuishi nevi alextika avenge ava kuita menzo yakwiruka navatambo kwiruka ava kuita menzo yakunubhashi navatambo kumona kwevati chachini abantu tatuishire kubombera abantu twaisa mukushopa abantu lesa twakula pepa lesa tupepa one day nokwasuka twatotera mugwai.
Thank you very much.
This point in time, as I've said already, I have not come across a single man in politics who is today thinking of spreading Zambia. Apart from this is my head man in Zimbabwe, this is the southern province. What is it? He tried to do that, I think, but he didn't succeed.
Hold on.
This is what is.
Okay, so we.
No, I think he will finish it that one.
Okay.
This is my southern province. What is he? The man is running his party.
Which one? Magande?
No. Oh, no.
Father, just hold on.
Southern province.
Southern province, yes. This man doing it. Hakainde. Who running is UPND, just like. Apart from that, there is no other leader I can fear to run this country. All these others who are running parties, I can't see any one of them.
Happy New Year to you. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening, Mwamba. This is Donosca. I'm calling from Italy.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Make your contribution. We are discussing the case of the summoning by the DEC of Archbishop Alec Banda.
Yes. Thank you so much. We heard about the greetings also to my friends in Zambia. Happy New Year to each and everyone, and I hope we have begun very well this new year. I was a bit surprised to have heard about that story yesterday. It came to our ears yesterday, and I was surprised. I have to mention that I was surprised. But it has happened, and we just have to follow now what is going to come next. I thought to contribute. I listened to the comment or to the article that was read, that was calling Bishop Bilon, I think he's Bishop Bilon Kalumbila, General Overseer of the Agape Christian Church International. And he mentioned some of the points, quoting, I think, one of your articles, and one of the things that captured my attention was when Bishop Bilon Kalumbila was asking that why, he was asking you, Mwamba, on your article, why do you think Bishop Alec Banda is the one who has been summoned and not any other Catholic clergy? So I would like, first of all, to answer to this question to Bishop Bilon Kalumbila. Why Bishop Banda and not any other Catholic clergy? I've come on this platform several times, and I've mentioned it very clearly that I supported President Hakainde Hichilema as a Catholic clergy when even Bishop Bilon Kalumbila was not there. They were nowhere on the platform. I can challenge him. There is no call, you cannot find it in any place where these people were around the UPND government. I was there, and there are certain things that, of course, we cannot even share on the platform, being the sensitivity of the situation of the matters. So, but Bishop Bilon, this is the word. I think, I hope he's going to capture this, and those who are listening, I hope they can get something. Why Bishop Banda and not any other bishop? The attack on Bishop Banda is not a new thing. It goes a long way, far as 2022. Maybe the same year, 2021, that might have been in November or in November, or actually in October. There was already some questions asked surrounding Bishop Banda. So Bishop Bilon Kalumbila, you might not know many other things. Why Bishop Banda? There are stories that we cannot disclose here because we respect the clergy, we respect the hierarchy of the Catholic Church. But I would leave Mwamba the right to give you a Bishop Kalumbila my number so that I can explain some of the sensitive issues which lies behind the name Bishop Alec Banda. There are certain things we cannot share here, but I would like to say, well, why Bishop Banda? Because he's the bishop of the Catholic Church in Lusaka. The State House is in Lusaka. The National Assembly is in Lusaka. Many officers, governmental officers, they are in Lusaka. And Archbishop Alec Banda is the Catholic shepherd or the Catholic apostle who, through his presence in the capital city, we have the Catholic Church in Lusaka. Without the presence of Bishop Banda, this is the way the hierarchy in the Catholic Church works. We have, first of all, the apostles, who represents the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ. Bishop Banda is one of the apostles who represents the church, the Catholic Church in Lusaka. If you remove Bishop Banda, there is no Catholic Church in Lusaka without Bishop Banda. Vakatolika, na mwamba wa maparties haya pusana. Muri wa UPND, muri wa FDD, muri wa Socialist Party. This thing you should learn it. Muiponena muchilubo ichakumva kuli teaching ishaba muri wa Katolika. Ifo twali pusana ko kuli wa Agape Christian Church International. We are very different. Ba bishop for Agape Christian Church International ba Katolika twalikuwa techo tuitati hierarchy. Ba papa ebatampira po or paisa bama bishops or shepherds or Jesus Christ disciples. Then paisa is the priests. From the priests or paisa kunkanya pama deacons. They can be married. Some they are not married. They are deacons. Then we have the faithful. Aba Christiani bonse banamayo bashibantu abaichotunya na bakote na balwele bonse na bafi bashina baids bonse fitwali kwata. So iye hierarchy wa bishop twakwata. So muri hierarchy twakwata ndifo afi bamwamba mpeni ko fe ine chance mbalo ndorere ko back to issue. Muri hierarchy twakwata. Bishop wa Kurusaka kafye mwine wa State House. Not Bishop wa kuchama wa kukasama na nguwa kundola diocese. Only the Bishop of Lusaka. So, ulia kutandagira wan mkwai?
No. Continue, sir. Continue.
So naomba kulia kutandagira abantu aba pusana nga baisa ba George Bush, baisa ba Tony Blair, baisa ba Donald Trump, besa mu diocese yakwa Bishop Banda. So, why ngatamwaishi baba Bishop Kalumbila I hope you are going to capture something there. The reason is the Diocese of Lusaka is a key diocese. Nangula muli hierarchy twakwata ifwe. Abakalamba sana teba Archbishop Banda pantu twalikwata ba chairman bama bishops babetati ba Archbishop chama abakuka sama bakalamba olopaisa konka no bana bambi emkwaye so ba Banda ili ashiringa bapo limbiteti mwishi wa billion if natural that ya panshalande. I'm not going to fall into a trap ya kubati twambo ukulai sunsum bafwe ba muri katolika mweka but ndefo okuba kofe ba katolika banandi mwiponena muchilubo ichikalamba ichilubo chakwe bati mutampi okutontonkanya ti Bishop Banda te chechi aba katolika chilubo echo. I want to stress this one. Even tuli abapatiri abali mu Lusaka bonse abapatiri abali mu banani katwishi mwalishi bechi echipope chita ecclesia. Bishop Banda is part of the Catholic Church. Bishop Banda is in the Catholic Church. Without him, the Catholic Church is not complete. Bantu bakatolika tu abango mubiri. Catholic, it means universal. So Bishop Banda is part of the Catholic Church. If he goes under injustice, ba church abaku Italy, abaku Brazil, abaku China, they are going to talk about the case yakwa Bishop Banda. That is the reason. If mwamona bamuzambe wambukulanda kuti mwaitashani Bishop Banda bale mieba so lelo abala ipusha fe bali ku Zambia mailo abakepusha na ku China bakepusha. What has happened to Bishop Banda who are Lusaka Diocese? So that's what I wanted just to answer kuliba Kalumbira. Then there are other issues that to us pali platform. We can just wish Bishop Banda our sympathy, and we are together. This is not propaganda. This is just a testimony of one of the Catholic Church. I have no authority at all. I do not represent the Catholic Church. I am part of this beautiful body which is called the Catholic Church, which is universal. That's why our brothers and sisters, we sympathize with them who are in Zambia, who are going to pray. They have started praying for Bishop Banda. We are going to pray for him. We will be together with him until he will go to deck on the 5th. The truth shall come out from that incident. We are just asking. Government.
Father Oscar, I have an ask, like a Nigerian say. The DEC was very dismissive in first they accused the Archbishop of flashing the call out to the media. They accused him of like discussing the matter in public. They've demanded that he's the one they are interested in, is not above the law, and that he should go alone to the DEC. What is your view?
The view is maybe the deck doesn't know the importance of the position that Bishop Banda holds. Nalaweshako ba deki kuli because Bishop Banda is an apostle, like the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ. So he is also an apostle, the same way. So muri ama disciples of Jesus Christ, there were 12 of them. One of them, who was called Judah Iscariot, he was responsible for finance. Judah Iscariot told that he was the minister of finance amongst the 12 disciples. The minister of finance betrayed his master, Jesus Christ, for money. He was promised money and he betrayed Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ had to talk to him, and I had Last Supper with Judas Iscariot, and he pleaded with him, do not betray the Son of Man. Do not betray your Lord. your Savior and Jesus Christ. Don't do it, Judas. But he went on and he betrayed. Now, when you touch a bishop, it's not an individual event. It's a universal event. A bishop, don't think that a bishop is a single man. That's a mistake. Badeki bachilanda tini bakatolika. Badeki ngani bakatolika. Mwali wa mundu bakatolika. If we tulanda to the profession of our creed, we profess the creed. I just underline 4 aspects which are fundamental in our profession of the faith or the creed, the apostolic creed. And we say, we believe in one holy, Catholic, and apostolic church. I repeat, 4 things. The Catholic Church professes this, and this is cardinal for each faith. We believe in one, the Catholic Church is on one, holy because Jesus Christ is a holy Son of God who started the Catholic Church. One, holy, apostolic, because St. Peter Apostle is the one who comes in the line of all the apostles. So apostolic, from St. Peter, Bishop Banda. From St. Peter, we reach up to Bishop Banda in Lusaka. Then, one, holy, apostolic, and Catholic. It's universal. So, then we will talk about it in Brazil. Then we will talk about it in the United States. They are going to talk about it in Italy. Then we will talk about it in Malawi. Because it's universal and it's one. So Bishop Banda is not a single person. He is an institution. And the institution that he represents is called the Diocese of Lusaka, which is the capital city of the beautiful Republic of Zambia, which I have almost 11 dioceses, but more than 11 bishops are in Zambia. So 3 archbishops in Zambia. One of them is Archbishop Eric Banda. Then we have Archbishop Chama, and the third one is Archbishop Pili in the Diocese of Ndola. So Yonse Zambia, Mwadibama archdioceses, and Bishop Banda is one of the archdioceses. So he is not an individual. He is an institution. So you call him, you are calling an institution. And it is not an obligation, but it's how can I say? It's a will, and it's a faithful. That is a shepherd for thousands and thousands of people in Lusaka diocese. And how do you think the flock that he is guiding can remain in their houses hiding when their shepherd is taken for questioning? Jesus Christ, when he was taken for questioning in front of Pontius Pilate, he had people around, thousands and thousands of people. When he was being questioned, are you the Son of God? He answered, yes, I am. Why have they brought you here? I don't know. They say you are the Son of the living God. Yes, I am. Are you a king? Yes, I am a king. Where is your army? If you are a king, me as Pontius Pilate, I am a king and of the army. Where is your army? And he answered, my army is not like the army of yours. My army is spiritual and they are heavenly. I have the angels who I can even call, but that's not the will of the Father. The will of the Father is that I conquer even your trust and your love for another kingdom, which is not of this world, but is the kingdom of God. So, Bishop Banda is not an individual. if you are a Catholic, imweba deki imweba mwasanda tinwewo Katolika. You were dating and we were Katolika. Kaviye muli Catholic teachings of the church. Go and understand the position of a bishop. And on this one, don't lie to the Catholic people. Bishop Banda is not an individual. He is an institution.
Thank you for that clarification.
You are arresting the institution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. That is Father Donosco, Father Oscar Pombo Mwanza from Italy, and is responding to the assertions by Nelson Banda. First, he was very disrespectful. At one time, he wasn't even calling Archbishop Alec Banda as Archbishop. He was just saying, Alec Banda, yes, we've summoned Alec Banda, and to come alone, don't come with cadres, don't come with people. You are not above the law. Of course, we know he's not above the law, but we know the facts that are available, that this is an abuse of the process. It's not Archbishop Alec Banda who's abusing the law. It's people like Nelson Banda from the DEC that are abusing the law. And for me, my encouragement will be that, when you see this injustice, when you see human rights defenders being silenced, because these are the people that defend your human rights, we should do what other countries do. For example, all lawyers should turn up. And I hope the entire church in Lusaka can turn up. And I hope that whoever is concerned, this man came for the PF. And people say, no, it's a PF, maybe they stole. He came for critics, locked people like Brebna Changala. Now he has come for Archbishop. When he comes for you, there will be no one to defend or speak for you. He came for the Constitution. He has taken over the Constitution. Despite what people say, he's slowly taking over. When he took over, Mwense, where our councillor, our mayor was killed, we thought it would end in Mwense. No, it didn't. It went to Pambashe. It went to Kawambwa. It went to Kwacha. It went to Kabushi. It went to Lumezi. It went to Mfue. You would think it will not touch you. Here they are. Now they've gone full throttle against the bishop. Here they are. They've taken over our Republican Constitution. Here they are. They want to lock up the Archbishop. What will you do on 5th? Will you obey what Banda is saying, Nelson Banda? If you are a Catholic faithful, you turn up for your bishop. You know that he's being victimized. You know that he's being isolated from the sheep. You know that they want to scandalize him and destroy him. They want to bring stress on him that he should either give up, surrender, or move away from Lusaka. They want a compliant, quiet person because they are preparing to rig elections in 2026. They want silence in the country. It's like the thief storms in your house and is pointing a gun at you that don't speak. So the thief wants order. The thief wants silence as he's stealing your goods. He doesn't want you to scream. And if you scream, he's threatening you. That's what thieves do. They come to kill and destroy. They just steal, kill, and destroy. That's what a thief does. And he wants it in an orderly manner. The thief doesn't want noise when he's stealing from you. He wants your silence. And the violence should only be reposed in him. If you speak, he comes for you. While he's stealing your goods and services. Here they are, taking your shepherd, and they want to do it in an orderly, proper manner. They want to tell you it's a rule of law. It's not the rule of law. It's an abuse of the rule of law. Nelson Banda wants to say he's just investigating. He's not investigating. He's being used to destroy an institution. Why should you be quiet? Why should you be silent? I'll come and take the last 5 calls and then we will close. Listen to Nelson Banda and what he was threatening. Where is he? Like a thief, he wants to steal in silence. He doesn't want noise. That's what a thief does. When the thief is stealing, he wants to steal in an orderly manner. The thief doesn't want noise.
When can I enter and see the face of God? Like the deer that yearns for running streams, so my soul is yearning for you, my God. My soul is thirsting for God, the Lord of my life. When can I enter and see the face of God? My tears have become my bread.
Caller, just hold on. Let me get you back.
All the day long, where is your God?
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. My name is Anik Matipa,
Yes, Anik, thank you.
and I am calling regarding the subject matter of tonight.
Yes.
First of all, I must say that I'm not shocked that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has even gone as far as intimidating the Archbishop Alec Banda. This is not the first time African leaders have attacked archbishops. When you ask me today, where is Kabila? Kabila intimidated Catholic archbishops. Today, his predecessor has sentenced him to death. In fact, for me, it is good that he has called Archbishop Alec Banda, because what he doesn't know, the Catholic is a state on its own, Ambassador Mwamba. We have a lot of voters. Unless otherwise, they say they are going to win these elections. But we have millions and millions of the Zambian population are Catholics and they are voters. And they will vote. Because Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is simply decampaigning himself. Zambia is bigger than Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Let him do what he is doing. It is so good that he has called Archbishop Alec Banda to go to the DEC. Because I do not understand how you would want to persecute someone on a gift. Someone is given a gift. He has no idea absolutely whether that gift was stolen or whatever. And you call him and you ask him to come on his own. No. The man moves with his shepherds. Imagine Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is called to go and answer to charges. Even when he used to go to court, did he used to go alone? Is the question we must ask. Didn't he used to go with his cadres? And everybody that escorts somebody to whether it's DEC or whether it's the police, they don't go alone. They never go alone. Why should it be different for Archbishop Alec Banda to go alone to DEC? But all I have to say is, no weapon fashioned against us, the Catholics, shall triumph. We are a state, and one thing us, the Catholics, believe in, we believe in politics. A good Catholic is a politician because they fight for the underprivileged. They fight for the marginalized, the less privileged. That is our duty. That is our duty. We have to be mindful of how the people are living And if Archbishop Banda does not mind about how the people are living, then he's not doing his job. So I ask myself, loko bapepa abama leaders baambiaba. You mean they have no shepherds that can advise them? That apakwe na yama wayasana. Because you can step kutuanyanda pamuliro. Nomba umuliro umbi ulocha. Take shibenefi akafumyo kululu umuliro yale inikamo. So all I can advise Mr. Hakainde is Chilema is a job well done. We the Catholics are watching and we are millions. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Matipa. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mwamba, my name is Michelo. I'm calling you from Choma.
My dear sister, make your contributions.
Yes, I just want to make a follow-up of what Father Oscar said. I think as Catholics, tuanaka, because it's like Archbishop Banda is everywhere being persecuted. I appeal to all the Catholics in Lusaka. Especially as women. Jesus Christ told them to persecute. The other callers just said, yes, the women were there. Jesus Christ never went alone. Our band that I'm Catholic. He's coming from Chilanga Parish, one of the parishes in Chilanga. We know him. Let him not mislead Abantu. He is Catholic. He should know the Catholic hierarchy. As Father Oscar has said, all Archbishop Banda, a banda, no, it's an institution. And as Catholics, we are not happy to alaka highlights, second-hand highlights. Eyo bale ona wila question ya babanda, oluchelo babanda, chungolo babanda, no kulanda tuibashindika. Aba babanda nisambushi bakwete kwati tuibashindika bali kubanda. Today him from Choma, we are coming and we are escorting his grace. Today batwala paka bakaika kutekinga kutuika tabaka tuika tefke. Best let the heroes stadium because I'm sales yala chepa musaka. Tatwa ikale babanda ngamule umfuko wa nason banda. Nishopo kwa today him as Catholics and we are going tatwa ikale. His Archbishop has been no paper. You Archbishop, Church Archbishop, Archbishop, and we are calling upon those senior Catholics, ministers. Where are you today? Tomorrow you even go for convention. Tomorrow Mukemachi to Ampula that we have to change yes. To have popular Mr. Montavanason Banda, we know you're coming from Chilanga Parish, one of the parishes in Chilanga. We are observing you. We are watching and praying. But if we defeated Kaunda, we're going to defeat even Bahaka in Deshema. What you've done is wrong, and it's wrong. You can't go, but Bishop, who better to watch a instead of Batuka Papa, Facebook, we know their names. Machine, but we've been divided. For the first time, a Catholic bishop has been summoned. We are watching and we are praying. Our voters cards now to and we will use them to level up to August. Thank God there's an archbishop from Milan to register pure by the southern province archbishop. Who sent the first hand information to Vatican so that Vatican can be aware of what is happening. Thank you, Mwamba.
Thank you very much. An earnest appeal, she's saying all the women carry your roses. Governor Fire, let them go and do the investigation in the stadium. They are willing and ready to be arrested. Kanshwane, Bale Mita, Mwaitwa. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Chiunguropo mkwaiba Mwamba wesu.
Enta mkwai shukuru balishani.
Mwamba.
Mkwai.
Inena chisa mkumisura bonse amenso mwebekeri pa social media, pa platform achituliranda peri ashiriria ba bishop wetu baita kumali ashi yakula basebanya nokula babika muri ashi ayo tabalingire no kupita mu chinchitwa bapera wamona ba Mwambafo ababantu ofo ba UPND kuli kweri ashiri kekete sana elile chitika kuma drivers besu abatwala ba mukongo bo baleipa. So instead of ili ashiri se lipa media na balete ili ashiri aba bishop ku dragging kuma kuri badeki so that abantu bareke okulanda peri ashirire chitiko kofu bale tuipaira ma drivers besu ma brothers besu kwati nimbwa Kongo kwata twakwatane ntunguru shisha kutulandirako so nga mwamona nga bambo kula chite finish bale fo bachite shift attention y'abantu ama brothers besu Kongo bale fo ngembwa batu mu Kongo lingali fere mu Zambia kutumwa na makongolizo fo benga tuchitafu kuma Zambians bati ama brothers besu bale fo pano ubwera n'ubwacha kwata twakwata obuteko kwakulandira kwa abantu so ini attention yako bati shift bonza attention tuambie kula mpoko ga ba bishop besu kumino ya kasatana olo numba firefe chikakulia fishikwe mure umfwa Mwamba.
Yes.
So in as much as bale kwa abantu bale tusebanje ba bishop besu ngaifo ba katolika bale fo anokita shift attention tuleke kulanda ma brothers besu bale pa Kongo kwati nimbwa ushabute ko nshubuta busaka mana abantu babo kufa bale ko bale fo kulishire kulure umusango mwe bantu na totera ba Mwamba wesu ile barete mingara to bare itachi barete mingara to 2026 na future ntuishipe fo tukara bate mingara to numbapa so maro kuima chipifia urawishi kwa kutola ba bishop kuima chipifia tukaye mu wingi bose bose ba katolika na bose aba supporter ba bishop besu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. DC Director General is saying the Archbishop should come alone, he should not come with cadres. Does the Archbishop have cadres? I thought the Catholic faithfuls should be respected. He himself says he's a Catholic faithful. So why is he calling Catholic faithfuls as cadres, that the Archbishop should come alone, he should not come with cadres? When did those who are Catholics become cadres? What kind of language is that? You know, and I hope, like I'm saying, stakeholders, civil society grouping, Oasis Forum, the lawyers and lawyers, I hope you will escort the Archbishop as he goes to this, you know. The sheep were left behind and the shepherd was taken alone and he was crucified with two thieves. This is what they want to do. Na chama wa mayo wacheba tifenga wanamayo to kema. So it's good she has pledged herself that she will, with other women, go to escort Archbishop Alec Banda. She says they will go. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Mwabombeni.
Endita Mwabombeni.
Emunda ko pano no periash.
Emkwa yoktu mwalanda.
Especially kubadia abachiraranda nokurai umfuata wendi katolika kabidi na riba ponentu. But then the question is, did mwali ntungurushipa shita mwaishipo kutira wali wa decorum ya kupera bashuma people, especially even the level of the archbishop, that you should be addressing him casually, and yet you are a Catholic. Mwadisenda mba tisho lwamche, but then you are able to be comfortable addressing the clergy with such contempt. I find it a very big misnomer. So, aleni wonse esarika kabiri that defend faith kabiri nendo keso tungushi as the clergy, they are the face.
Thank you. Your line is cutting. Let me take another line. I think you've made your point that Nelson Banda, as a Catholic, should understand about decorum, and I agree with you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yes, Mama.
Yes.
Yes, Mama. Yes, mlenga again awela vyo ine mwapela point yako ebati ba deki ba Nelson Banda. Ba ebo kwe bati bekesa na makadazi. Ngana mumona. Amule moneko kwe bati even ba Nelson Banda. Teba Catholic. Teba Catholic. Ngachako bati ni ba Catholic. Kuti ba ishi na position bale bombera bwati yes. De bombera pachalo. It's not personal. This is a problem we have in our country. For today, the government of UPND. Because we are taking about Chakova Tabala Ibombela. Tetibabonja Yamashu. Tetibabonja Yamashu. Abaland of Webati, Bafuyoku, Moguya Jasa, solidarity, Okabakala Bantuana. Ma priest, Navandu, Avena Christo. Hello, Baita Tamakadazi. Much is at what Tamakadazi. What Tama members?
How at Mulimakadazi, Eva Nelson Banda.
Nelson Banda, Teva Catholic. Lelo mwaje bwa bantu ba UPND fyo baba balasumine chintu nga chako bati balefo bati pretend kwe bati balangi ati nabo mu bawo teba Catholic tatule fo kulungula ma church bafuyire baba ku church uko abentu ngurusho baba mu uko bemya ama placards bantu ivo kumyezo ku Catholic nangu kuingeza shima pepo nani president wa Musango Shaka eti tumwimisha ama placards mu church tatuimya. That is an embarrassing otri munokwe bati church na obere ba Nelson Banda baba ku church uko bamukwimya ama placards mu church bakuri shame insoli bamvade lelo chileka bilo chako bati ba Nelson Banda mwishi yati church from lipo mulebo mba mulebo forenda la mesha taxpayers money shesu one day mukafumapo even iyo tukesa isibo kuba ticharunga mwafumapo bushumukafumapo mwirabo kwe bati nemwakesa vipero mulandu wa abuse of office. Iyo ni abuse of office. Aya mashumu delanda. Ya kapele fya pafye. Mamvade. Tatule eva diyo vintu mutambio kulafo ya kwa jiri mwa Musango kona wila mashina. Because otu mlefu wafyo kona ula. Ishina liya bahali kibanda. Because wala mnyebe chishinga. Elo tete musashe Catholic. Because Catholic tamula wako tamula fialo. Even yukulete ubuntu mwamuli chumechalo. Aya macheche zuyansiarela ndila bantu. Basungu wapa tufunishe muli unkole. Bali ba Catholic bambo kumonoko bati wala sendo bunkuru fwebe na Africa baisa ibati no ifite file kitika devyo bakanya ukupitira mubasungu banabo abalesa ngusenda bunkuru twaisa isa bakufuma kuri ukutekwa nabasungu iba Catholic na ngoma cheche zali aya kuru eya imine twaisa isa kuri unipi twali kufisha point ungulisha pali ba Elias Mutale bakwe bati tukwate democracy ile no ba nani mu mulevu aya ukumona kwatiri mbili mu mulevu ku mwana kwa mwekeshe kuri one party state. Lelo tamwabukisha kuri one party state because lesa muilaba even if itulela ndai mule umvu ngapo mwala alala muri wakwalesa wakulula myocha bantu balamule yangala ko bashirwa nangu bantu abapepu abasubwa na leso ko bati batungule chalo cha Zambia mwana ngachako batwala ndoko bati Zambia is a Christian nation. Zambia uvire okutambo kubombela pakumone chintu cha lubana no tsokwe bati mwacha balance ko bati nalufya Mama de oso ni vinto vetu wa mwana puto mwana kwa maswinjira ito mwana kwa finjira vinjifi alwa muni tunechalo uma airport kuisa na kuisoko mwali firo kufoirisha ka ila kisiveka moto kafyako kene kulina mamilioni ya luba eko mwaisa mwana kwa tiri muli active sana mukubomba muli anti corruption we anyway ivotu kwa tete shughuli yako mipepera tu wale mwana kwa 26 ya Afrika echo tuleko selesho kwa tiba opposition please ngamulefu okwe bati mukese bentu ngulushi kuntanjire sali misobera ikataneni ngevyo abantu pa grassroots abachule emyaka nemyaka bali katana ikataneni bwino sana twatotera ba Mwamba weso.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, Ambassador Mwamba. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nameless here.
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to
Yes.
you too. Make your contributions.
Thank you so much. Okay, ba Mwamba nalala ndamuchilenga. First and foremost, I would like to thank Father Mbumbu, to have given me an insight about the importance of the bishops. The family of the bishops and the priests. Yeah. and whatever Vagampumbo Balanda, Efochava, Bishop, they by individual. So abape ne tulelanda na fifika kale ku Vatican na veshiba bapop na veshiba wonse pe na veshiba so ba bishop konso ko bakala batwala na bakabebeka elo cha kupapsha no kupapsha kwe bati ichalo chesu icha Zambia, it's being cursed. We are cursing it ourselves. Ifinalando kwe bati abamu family yama bishops nama priests efintu na ilifuna ishiba ero kuti natemwa sana ukumonana na ba Father Mpombo so beshi bekunyesu kwe bati ukubula ba bishop ababantu pakwisa Africa pali ku bishop, it's not a walk in a park. Nibali abantu abakwe bati bali bamafunde yonze I am church. No church, it's a state. Church tenganda fye tinganda awe. So ababa bishop wabo ifefo bale bachita bale ichita fe curse. So beshi bokwe bati chichintu chala koswa. Chala kosa. Chile bakosela fe bonse be chile bakosela. So twinga keshbo makusendele fintu. Musebanya sana bantu ba bishop eti bapoke chintu icho tabeshive necho balipokela tabapoka fe fintu abantu bali kwata sana mafunde efo nachira fukula ndefo fine so ichalo chesu chili cursed efo ningalanda ifo ba Mwamba na totela.
Thank you very much. I think that should mark to be our last caller. We may have another program just on this matter, just to rally our people around this matter. I think that is very important. I've always held... Okay, there's a call from Father Oscar. Father Oscar Pombo. The lady is asking for your number and to meet you. I will send her number and the two of you could discuss. She's very touched by your comments and directives.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. There's just one thing, if at all I can contribute, which I think it's important for the people to understand. I've gone to quote some of the articles which are in the canon law. You know, the Catholic Church has what we call the Catholic Code of Canon Laws. That's the title. It is called the Catholic Code of Canon Laws. Now, if Bishop Banda committed a serious crime, Bishop Banda could have already been summoned by the Vatican, and a process could have already started. So that is just to tell the faith forward in Lusaka, because we are talking about Lusaka. I want to talk about the other dioceses in Zambia. We are now focusing on what is happening in Lusaka. So to the faithful, Vakatolika, imwe Vakatolika, mwe kwetina time hapo mwe wale umfokofu tulelanda kwa code, Catholic Code of the Canon Law, yam 1973, mwala virenga pali canon number 775. Bamwambana mumubiki ma points ayonga mwapuisha nani kani mubikushite koye muberenge kufu baba complicated wa Catholic. So twalikuwa tapama bishops. We are talking about the bishops. I told you that the bishop is an institution. Now allow me Mwamba to read, especially for those in Yabashikweteko, the opportunity. So nalabidenga canon 375 paragraph 1. It says, Episcopi qui ex divina institutionem in apostolorum locum succedunt per spiritum sanctum, qui datus est eis in ecclesia pastores constituuntur ut sint et ipsi doctrine magistri sacri cultus sacerdotes et ubernationis ministri. Na amuste translate muchisungu. Canon 375. It states that bishops, by divine institution, a bishop is an institution, is not a single person. So by divine institution, succeed the apostles through the Holy Spirit given to them. They are constituted as pastors in the church to be 1. Teachers of the doctrine. 2. Priests of the sacred worship. 3. Ministers of governance. Mumfa wino mwewa katolika mwewa murusaka. But Bishop Banda is a minister of governance in Lusaka, instituted by the consecration of ama wokuba musubire bishop nganiba cardinal nganiba mdiba bishop musubire amafuta. The time he was consecrated the bishop, he assumed these three, we call them Chilatini, triplice munela, na alawekesha. Teachers of doctrine, if you are Catholic, priests of the sacred worship, bishop ni mupa tili wama sacred worships. 3. Year number 3, this is very important. Ba UPN na imu sambirire nipo, na wambi na moma ministers sambirire nipo, makamaka imu moma ministers, na Frankie Wadi, watamsha kupatisho, basambirishe ko ba UPND nomulandu bakutamfishe ku bapatirisho kutuwa basambirisha ko Frank Wadi. The third thing is very important, Mwamba. Ministers of governance. So if Bishop Banda is a minister of governance, he has the right to talk about how the country is being governed. Then the second canon, in 375, second article, it says, explains that through their episcopal consecration, bishops receive the offices of 1. Teaching, 2. Sanctifying, 3. Ruling. Bishop ni teach. Bishop alapala abantu, alaposha abakwate fibanda mumutima, abakwata possessed with the evil spirits. The bishop has the authority to cure those sick, those patients. 3. He is a ruler. He has authority of ruling. Ero abo banani ba deking, when you are deking and you are Catholica, ukalekena bu Catholica. This is just a good advice for you, because it shows that twishing and bu Catholica wapa Sunday. Now I think in bu Catholica wapa Christmas na pa Good Friday. Oh inga kwata. Otherwise te chulande chintu cha kulevi. Walanda no kwa bati ba Bishop Banda bekesana makadas. This is what we call insults in the Catholic. Iwata wa ishwana doctrine ya Catholic for yaba. Tamwa wachi wedded kada muliwa Catholic. Mwa flock, shepherd. Bishop Banda is a shepherd. He has his flock on which he give a pastoral work. Tamwa babu kada. So lindi mwamonena akanwa kamilandu kala ivala. Efe twalelandi abakalamba balanda imwe mwili ya chirembe yali sasa ifinomba mwambo kulalanda efi mwamba nokutu iwenga ni wewe Katolika deki waambo kutusevanya wasevanya ngataule tusevanya kabiye na yona kupera kwa advice. Go and read the canon law ya Katolika. You say you are a Catholic. Go and read the canon law and read these canons from 375. You can go up to
377. Go and learn something. Then you understand what it means to call an archbishop of a capital city. In this term, we are talking about Bishop Banda. He is not a cadre. He is not an individual. Who told you that Bishop Banda is an individual? I'm an atheist. I'm a Satanist. He is not an individual. He is an institution by divine grace. Ngamulefa wake mufinyako bishop, finyanuka na bapapa kanshi. Bafinyanuka na bapapa, finyanuka na St. Peter. Bafinyanuka bonds. If you have that authority, make that attempt. Chisumana totelabane. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mwamba Mwachila Katwish.
Hello. Oh, I lost my caller there. Is back. Yes, Father. I lost you there. Mwachputuka, Father. Mwachputuka.
Okay. I think then sister, I forward. I think there are many things that we could do. We could talk about that, but I hope I forwarded my main 2 points.
Yes.
They are teachers of the doctrine of the Catholic Church.
Yes.
They are priests of the sacred worship and they are ministers of governance. So Bishop Banda, apart from his spiritual directive responsibility, he is also a minister of governance. Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Health, Minister of Mines. Bishop Banda is a minister of governance. That's why he can control, he can correct by PF, by UPND, by Socialist Party, by Muriokela Party, by Nanbonsebody. He can, because it's his responsibility. And he cannot keep quiet. Ama bishops to keep quiet. They might have their own reasons why they keep quiet. Otherwise, a bishop has obligation to speak. That's why we don't choose a candidate. We don't endorse a candidate, but we speak. Bishop Mpundu. We advise pakuwa mu parliament mukabe abantu aba muchinshi inganinevo. I could have advised abena Zambia. Vule ni Emmanuel Mwamba, vule ni Binwa Mpundu, vule ni Kasonde Mwenda, vule ni ba ambassador banani kani banani uko bonse badang ba Copeland. Vule ni nani kuchina babika mu bonse barapantu abanga to abika mu parliament. Ichalo chikawama. Nomba mu parliament mngamwa abika mu badaba muliye. Na tumone fishtiki musevanya ba muliye. Barabende balieba kwebati nombe fintu fyao na ikila kofi nga twalitwelemu abantu with dignity. Abantu with dignity. The Zambia, I'm telling you, in 3 months it can change its face. And this is what we are advocating for. This year now, not Wingiramu, August, baby. What are we going to advocate for? We want to advocate for Avena Zambia in Parliament. Abatemwa echalo. Abatemwa n'abo bonse batemwa abalanda bamukamfuirwa. Abana banshiwa ngatasilwa lingu. Bamukamfuirwa nga ba mama Esther Lungu. A politician who cares for the widow. A politician who cares for the orphan. A politician who care for the street kids. Abamurusaka. Na concept kufialo. That is why if you therefore abakengire muri parliament those people should go on pension. Bachiramo, it's just too much. 61 years after independence, we need abantu with critical minds. Abakuingira mu parliament and our country will be back. One Zambia.
Thank you, Father.
One nation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. You are our last caller.
Hello,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Bamuwaku Livingstone.
Happy New Year.
You are our last caller. Make your contributions.
But for Livingstone, it was not a Happy New Year because Twachibuka Nishtakuria Mench.
Young, the whole Livingstone.
The whole Livingstone Takachwa Mench.
Oh my God.
Nachikonkeria shi nachitumina ba provincial ba boss ba provincial ba lungo bashinje bati bali palive bati abarumendo wale bombera pamene shiro nachi check nakola quarter weeks batsango kubo kutira tikanshi bubu apya washtike 3 days ago. So mashina pampu imwe yawo yalifwa bachitumatuwa kwa mukusenda imbi kumazi kuchoma mbalabe pya domba kusumwa tumaba ku Livingstone kwa mukusenda pampu kuchoma ishte tumwebera bakuchoma babike pa
basi balete
it is an emergency abantu ne new year
they have been
celebrating but then no drinks so there will be high usage of toilets but there was no water.
Oh shame.
The water was only restored somewhere around 15 hours in certain places, not in all the places. So as I'm talking to you right now, there's a place called Dambano, Takuria Mesh. From yesterday, 18 hours.
Yeah. I want to watch you.
For Livingstone, that one be when New Year, the Pramba New Year Takuria Mesh. So,
make your contribution, my brother.
We are going through. I want to comment pari movie at taking a government pari wa Ari Kibanda. Bishop Ari Kibanda. Ifo ningalanda pokubekala chalo chako kutira ti. Inoshita ifo to abikiria makani muifunde constitution. But this time around, amaka constitution naba ipoka maka taiko ita maka constitution naba ko ita maka bantu aba. Then the constitution if by ipoka maka meaning that defense that ko Ethereums right now like yama cases like the one that is yaba bishop oro inga ya kuchiri cha shani mwana sanga kutira ti imbushi eti wine muchire cha mainas. So security inga pera ba bishop papa ni fo wantu, meaning that ba bishop represents the faithful. When you look at the Catholic Church and how the church has been helping this country, most orphans have been. There are very few. Catholic Church the Catholic Church has helped a lot of Zambians, especially the vulnerable, because the church is poor. So when we see like if I'm watching the
bambire sitimu ya PF kama siti ama siti yale ya balesenda wale mwana kwa tunakali mwasenda PF, but a lot of things have been overtaken. So this is a very critical moment for this country, and the only security to go up, the only justice to go up, and for to support our leaders in such kind of maneuvers, because not we should go that if we're going to meaning and if we don't stand up for our people who are speaking for us, then ichalo chesu twana chirekelesha. And again, Mwamba, the way the Catholic Church has been handled by this government, it's something that is very, very worrisome. Because mostly the Catholic Church and government, these are partners in development. And of course, every moment, at some point, actually, mane barandira kukuli church ine Catholic Church nombaro lya basango ko okutira ati bambo okufira okuteka abantu church irande kuambo kuba mulandu mushe bali kibanda mulandu nchi bapangire apart from ukulandira kofi abaranda. And I think the greatest mistake maybe is because the by such type here muri to be in charge of Dr. ECO's funeral. I think that's Umulando Pangiri. Because it's like everyone who surrounded Barungu, they are getting their fair of punishment. You could see even the way the daughters lost the Chawama seat. I think it's very unfortunate, and for me, I just hope that tufike bwino kuma general election so that Zambians can make a decision, especially when you look at the high levels of poverty, you look at unemployment, you look at a lot of issues. Economically, we are very much down. And what we are seeing now is that ama voices, mama voices. Number ba number, nakuli voice ya church. It's very unfortunate, but let's stand up for Zambia and defend our country.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You are last caller, and thank you very much. Today we're discussing the case of DEC summoning Archbishop Alec Banda. DEC is insisting that he should come along to the to DEC. They are separating him from the flock. He should come alone. They don't want any faithful. He actually even called them cadres. We already had the last caller, but you are lucky. You can make your contributions.
Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Good evening.
Yes, you're speaking with Joshua Piri.
Mr. Piri, make your contribution.
Thank you so much. It's quite sad that today we are talking about Bishop Alec Banda. But as they say, if you are living in a glass-thatched house, do not throw stones. If you look at the sides that and the sides that Bishop Alec Banda is taking, unfortunately, he's making wrong decisions. You can see the way he has been taking sides with the Lungu family. Let's just shortly talk about the issue with the Lungu family. The wishes of the Lungu family indeed must be respected. But which wishes? Are they wishes that are rooted in hatred? Wishes that talks about unforgiveness? If really Edgar Lungu was such a forgiving person, do you think Edgar Lungu could die in a situation of saying, no, even in my death, I don't want this person to come to my funeral? Does that really make sense, surely? I think we need to be honest with each other. Edgar Lungu is the one that came up with 18th October as the day of national reconciliation and prayer. This very man is the man that now you're talking about that said, no, in my death, I don't want this person to come to my funeral. I think Bishop Alik Banda has just put himself in this mess.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. There's a caller who's blaming Archbishop Alik Banda. He was our last caller. Thank you very much for your cause and your contribution. And as we begin the year 2026, we've begun this year on a very sad note where the DEC have summoned Archbishop Alik Banda, and the DEC, Nelson Banda, today came to defend his decision. He said Archbishop Alik Banda is not above the law and that he should go to the DEC alone. He should go to answer charges. He's being treated as a suspect. Nelson Banda said there is a vehicle that is missing, a government property, and it was found with Alik Banda, and it should be Alik Banda, Archbishop Alik Banda should answer. That is the position of DEC and Nelson Banda. Our view is that Nelson Banda is a mere tool being used by the weapon that President Hakainde has developed. His weaponized law enforcement agencies. He's taken over lawful and democratic institutions to fashion them against his political enemies. And all Archbishop Alik Banda has done is just to speak against the evils and plans and plots of President Hakainde Hichilema, to speak for the poor. That has been, is like this scholar is saying that he's taken a side to Edgar Lungu's family. I thought the Lord instructed us to stand with widows and orphans. Whose side did this scholar wish that Archbishop Alik Banda should be? Whose side do you expect to be in these circumstances? You should be on the side of the weak, on the side of the orphans, on the side of the widows. The Catholic faithfuls, for me, I will encourage you to stand with your bishop. He is being separated from you, the flock, and they want to whip the rule of law, which they are not following. We just read the matter regarding Kingsley Chanda, who was charged with abuse of office, and no one to date has been convicted for theft of a motor vehicle, for it to be declared that it is stolen. So you can't climb a tree from the leaves, establish that the vehicle is stolen, jail someone. And we already have details that I already mentioned here of a person who bought the vehicle from ZRA and from our information gifted it to the Archbishop. Start from the root. Don't climb the tree from the top. This is just a pattern in preparations for 2026 general elections. Archbishop Alik Banda has been a victim from day one when he spoke for Father Salangeta. Whenever he spoke for the people of Zambia, he was accused of being a PF cadre. President Hakainde Hichilema made a formal request to have the Archbishop of Lusaka removed. He thought he could do what he has done. Remember, there is a bishop, there is a president of the SDA on the Copper Belt who told the president that each government will come and go. And he said the Patriotic Front were a patriotic government, and he urged the president to craft his own legacy. He was removed just the following week. He was president of the SDA. The president thought he could remove Archbishop Alik Banda because he's not happy with the sentiments and remarks of Archbishop Alik Banda, and he's frustrated that he can't do what he did to the SDA president on the Copper Belt. Is that Dr. Chabu, I think, from the Copper Belt, who he removed. He requested that he be removed. So he's surprised that the Catholic are not removing Archbishop Alik Banda. As we end the broadcast, I wanted to read, let's see if we have it. There is Martin Nemola, who watched the horrors of the Holocaust, where over 6 million Jews and people of similar, victims whose lives were taken away. And this is a pattern he noticed. So Pastor Martin Nemola, who watched the Holocaust play in full, this is what he wrote. First, they came for the communists. Remember, Hitler came on a democratic wave. He was a popular president in 1933 when he took over. But he systematically began the war before the war started. So this is what Pastor Martin Nemola wrote. First, they came for the communists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists. I didn't speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the Jehovah's Witness. I didn't speak because I was not a Jehovah's Witness. They came for the trade unionists. I was not a member of any trade union, so I didn't speak. Then they came for the Jews. Well, I didn't speak because I was not a Jew. But when they came for me, there was no one left to speak out for me. That is Pastor Martin Nemola, a German clergy who watched the horror of Hitler play out and the genocide of over 6 million people. That's a horror when you sit comfortably thinking, well, I'm not SDA, I'm not Catholic, I'm not PF, I'm not Malanji, I'm not Nixon Chilango, I'm not Tasila Lungu, Fiabwe Fio. Well, we are warned what silence does. God bless you, and we will speak to you later. Thank you for watching today's first show, and we will, thank you for all your support.
Have nothing to do with the status of the target. The rule of law says nobody is above the law. Now, this particular case has been running for some time. We seized motor vehicles in this case. Some other people that are involved, so the ZRA case, and then we were involved as investigators. Some people have actually been convicted because government property was taken away from government and appropriated to people, individuals. Tell me what I should do as a law enforcement officer. So we issue a call out as a starting point, asking you to come because you have been mentioned in a particular activity. We want to hear your side of the story. Look, people are dubbed criminals, people are dubbed thieves in social media and so forth. We don't want that ourselves. We are professionals. We will not call you anything until it is proved in court. So we'll call you, come over, we have a chat. But here's the sad thing. When we issue a call out, colleagues, it's a private document for the person written on that document. Nason Banda, come and report at DVC headquarters. It's for me. Then me, I'll get my lawyer, get my other lawyer, and tell them, accompany me. But what do people do? The moment you get the call out, social media. Flash it. For what? It changes nothing. What's waiting for you? So to be specific, you're asking to say, is the summoning political? Not at all. Discriminating. The Hilux is here. I'll show you the Hilux. It's here. Am I right? Is it fact here? Yes, it's here. You see it. One of them. The other one is parked. We're going to just drive it out. These are vehicles that were obtained from ZRA illegally, and then one of the vehicles is found with the same Mr. Archbishop Ali that you're talking about. She's a white one. Just his name. I want to be very categorical on this one. Please, we are not politicians. We are law enforcement officers. We operate at our own time, in our own space, because we have laws that govern our activities. It's that simple. So, there's no politics involved. Let me also emphasize, please, no, they're fighting the Catholic Church. It's politics. I'm Catholic myself. And I'm actually a very devoted Catholic, very devout. I was even chairman for my parish. And my wife afterwards was also chairman for the same parish. We're a Catholic family. His Grace, the Archbishop, is my Archbishop. Understand this. He's my Archbishop. I'm in the Archdiocese of Lusaka myself. So there's nothing political, nothing to do with the church. We are following this name. If you come and read, it does not say Archbishop. It says Alik Banda, something, address and whatever. So we checked. Who got this vehicle from ZRA? So we just want to establish a few things. And that is what we're doing. It's just procedural, colleagues. It's just procedural. We'll send you a call out. Mr. Goma, if I need you tomorrow, I'll send a call. If you don't come, I'll send them to lift you. Yes. So it's actually a very civil way of doing things. You know that, eh? You are called quietly. Please come over. Nobody's even going to know that anybody's called. You just come over. You come and sit in this room here. These officers here will ask you the few questions that they have. Sometimes it turns out to be that by coming, and that's what you clear a situation. Say, after all, he's not even involved. Yes. Many times, colleagues, we have had situations where we have closed cases. My office here has closed cases. Some people are watching me right now, they can agree. I've closed cases because after calling them, I said, no, he's not part of this team. I give instructions. This matter is closed. Is there any man who sees from him? Yes. Put it back in his account. We do that. We have done a lot of such cases. Vehicles, we bring them in, seize them. Then we find, no, there's no case. Or the vehicle is not connected to the offense that we're investigating. I'm not ashamed to immediately guide my officers, release that motor vehicle. It's not that I don't know how to investigate. No. It's because our investigation has yielded results. Someone was bringing back his vehicle. Houses, we have seized properties. For some time, we're even getting the rentals ourselves. We discovered, no. It was not actually like that. It was this way, that way, that way. Therefore, this house must be given back to the rightful owner, who is this one. And we give them back all the rentals we are getting back. That's how we operate. So when we do a call out, my sister, when we do a call out, it's because we want to have things clarified. It's just natural justice. Natural justice demands that the other side must be heard. While people speculate, that one is a thief. Us will not speculate. We'll call that person. Were you at Mandayo on Friday at 16 hours? Simple thing tells I was attending a funeral in Dubai. But somebody told us, no, I was in, here's my passport. Then you realize it was the wrong target altogether. I was not even there. Not anywhere near the crime scene. Let him go. But how will you know if you don't call him? Tell me, how would you know if you don't call him? So this is basically an engagement which is just procedural. Nothing special about it. And I'm hoping as His Grace comes on, ask him to come on Monday. As he comes on Monday, let him come nicely, quietly, alone. Don't bring people that are irrelevant to the case. Just come alone. He'll ask you a few questions and we end it. Unfortunately, it won't stop, eh? No, it won't stop. We won't stop. We want to conclude cases. Any case that we start must be concluded. I think that's what you want, the people of Zambia. You always challenge us. You're already telling us some cases are taking long. It means you're not happy. You would like, so you heard at some point. The Archbishop was being mentioned in court, not me. In court. No, one vehicle was given to the Archbishop. It was mentioned in court. It's in the judgment. It's there. So what should I do myself? I leave my case hanging like that? I want to close my case also, because you people pay me to do a job. I want to close my books. 2025, this is over. Now I'm looking for other criminals. These are innocent. Let them go back home. These have to go to court. That's all. Any big names with the Chifrema operation. Now what happens is the big people that are found maybe in Lusaka here and some other places, what they do is they make it a point, they make use of our innocent, for lack of a better term, not well informed.
3.5 Lucifer of Zambia. The denunciation of Archbishop Alik Banda as the Lucifer of Zambia by the UPND Secretary General, Mr. Batuke Imenda, was not only an affront on the person of Archbishop Banda, but the entire Catholic Church and its leadership in Zambia. Until now, the Chief Executive Officer of the ruling party has not retracted his words, nor apologized, apart from the party and its government calling for ceasefire. The demeaning of the Archbishop by UPND is simply a demonstration of the spirit of intolerance towards criticism, as alluded to above. 3.5 Lucifer of Zambia. The denunciation of Archbishop Alik Banda as the Lucifer of Zambia by the UPND Secretary General, Mr. Batuke Imenda, was not only an affront on the person of Archbishop Banda, but the entire Catholic Church and its leadership in Zambia. Until now, the Chief Executive Officer of the ruling party has not retracted his words, nor apologized, apart from the party and its government calling for ceasefire. The demeaning of the Archbishop by UPND is simply a demonstration of the spirit of intolerance towards criticism, as alluded to above. 3.6
Kwenyu ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, kwenyu not enough. Time is up, for your lies and bluff. Time is up, kwenyu not enough. Time is up, for your lies and bluff. Kanizanu ndizopanda pindu, anakulira miseu mwatu, tikufuna chilengede chatopano, osati mapocket anu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up, kwenyu is not enough. Time is up, for your lies and bluff. Time is up, kwenyu not enough. Time is up, for your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. Kwenyu kunata pano, we take the rain. Tikonza jiko.